Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hey there.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into a team that really, they didn't just play baseball, they sort of embodied an era.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the 1975 Cincinnati Reds, forever known as the Big Red Machine.
That's right. A legendary team.
We've got a whole stack of sources you've shared, articles, research, notes covering their completely dominant season in that unbelievable World Series.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there.
So our mission here is to really get into the key moments, the determination, the performances that made them legends, and, explore what their story really tells us about greatness in sports.
Okay, let's do it. To really get the 75 Reds, you got to understand what baseball was like back then.
Right. What was the context?
Well, for maybe 15 years leading up to the mid-70s, baseball had seen attendance going down, viewership declining. It wasn't exactly setting the world on fire.
So kind of ripe for something special to happen.
Exactly. And boom, into that steps the 1975 Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
The absolute peak, really, of the Big Red Machine.
And they weren't just, good. They're utterly dominant. This team, they racked up a franchise record, 108 wins that season.
108 wins. And they didn't just, squeak by. They won the NL West by a massive 20 games over the Dodgers.
20 games. That kind of margin is just, almost unheard of.
Totally. And they took that momentum right into the playoffs. Swept the Pirates 3-0 in the NLCS.
So they were really rolling heading into World Series.
Absolutely. But what was really interesting, beyond just the wins, was the makeup of the team itself.
Yeah, the sources mentioned that. The Great American Ball Club.
Yeah, that's the term they used. It was this pretty unique blend for the time. African-American players, Latin American, white American, and Johnny Bench, who had Native American heritage. A real mix.
And kind of holding it all together was the manager, Sparky Anderson.
Sparky, yeah. His whole philosophy was, team above everything. That classic no-iron team. He really lived it.
And the players respected that, even the big names.
They seemed to, yeah. They really admired him. He had this way of managing a clubhouse just loaded with superstars, which isn't easy.
That gets into those intangibles people talk about.
Exactly. It wasn't just talent, though. They had tons of that. It was the communication, the chemistry, the camaraderie, and Sparky's coaching, of course.
Players pushing each other, learning, that kind of thing.
Yeah, fostering this social dynamic that just made the whole team better than just the individual parts.
Okay, speaking of those parts, you can't talk about the machine without starting with Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle.
Oh, yeah. Any sources on the Reds, he's front and center. His effort was just, relentless. Never took a play off.
Never let off the gas pedal, as one source put it. Fans felt they got their money's worth.
Absolutely. And, the record speaks for itself. 42, 56 hits. Nobody's touching that.
He had that sort of old-time player vibe, too, didn't he? Stakes, autographs, the track.
Right. Love the action, especially gambling. Though, he always insisted he never bet against the Reds.
The sources also mentioned his personal life, calling him an incessant womanizer. Adds layers to his legacy, for sure.
It definitely complicates how you view him and that whole question of greatness. But his intensity on the field, even in the dugout.
Yeah, apparently he'd walk up and down yelling, trying to fire guys up, telling them, we're not floozers.
You could feel that drive. Then there's Johnny Bench, often called the greatest catcher ever.
His defense was legendary. Gold gloves galore.
And that incredible quote from his minor league days, "Forget Babe Ruth, remember Johnny Bench." Talk about confidence.
He had some hurdles, though, didn't he? I read his number was retired in Single-A, which is kind of quirky.
Yeah, shows his impact early on. And he dealt with injuries, broken thumb, even a car crash right after he got his bonus money. Wasn't a smooth ride.
And right there with him, Joe Morgan. Maybe the smallest guy, but maybe the mightiest.
You could definitely argue that. NL MVP in 75 and 76. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Pitchers were actually scared of him, weren't they?
Yeah.
That box story.
Pitchers literally balking because they were so worried about him on the base paths. That's impact.
And talk about clutch. His single won Game 7 of the World Series. That's huge.
Just massive. And I love that line he apparently had for Pete Rose about his fans being mostly older women remembering the old days.
That's great. Okay, who else? Tony Perez, the big dog.
Doggy, yeah. He brought the power. Grew up in Cuba dreaming of playing in the U.S., instead of holding sugar bags.
Delivered in 75, too. 20 homers, over 100 RBIs.
And that confidence. Wow. Down 3-0 in a game, tell Sparky, I hit a home run. and then does it.
That's incredible. And he hit 3 homers in that World Series, right? Including a really big one in Game 7.
Absolutely crucial 2-run shot in Game 7. He stepped up big time.
So those were the big 4, but the machine had other key cogs.
Definitely. You needed everyone. Ken Griffey Sr. brought the speed. George Foster, serious power.
Dave Concepcion at shortstop holding down the infield defense.
A wizard with the glove. And Cesar Geronimo anchoring the outfield in center. Just a really well-built team.
Okay, so this dominant, perfectly assembled team rolls into the World Series against the Boston Red Sox, and that series, wow.
Yeah, often called one of the best, most dramatic World Series ever. Just thrilling.
And the Red Sox had their own cast of characters. Louis Tingant.
El Tiante, the pitching wizard, the heart and soul of that Sox team, that crazy, twisting delivery, and that story about his father finally getting to see him pitch after 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just powerful stuff.
Then Bill Lee, the spaceman, with his quirky leafus ball.
Yeah. And Carlton Fisk behind the plate, who we'll get to him, Darryl Johnson managing.
The series itself was just packed with drama from the start. That rain delay before Game 6.
Oh, man, yeah. A 4-day delay. A nor'easter just parked itself over Boston. Players were going stir-crazy in their hotels.
I read Sparky, and the team actually got lost trying to find an indoor practice facility at Tufts, wandering around in uniform.
Yeah, pretty funny image. But that delay, it gave pitchers like Tiant extra rest, which definitely changed things strategically.
And there was controversy too, right? Game 3.
Yeah, that play at the plate with Cesar Armbrister, the Reds pinch hitter. Red Sox fans still talk about that one. The umpire apparently wouldn't even discuss it later, called it too hot an issue.
Just added more fuel to the fire.
Absolutely. But then, Game 6.
Game 6. Even people who don't follow baseball closely might know about Game 6.
It's legendary. A 12-inning classic. Some call it the greatest World Series game ever played. Non-stop action.
Back and forth, right. Reds fell behind early, then fought back.
Totally. You had Griffey scoring runs with his speed, Geronimo moving runners, Morgan scoring on a ball off the wall. Geronimo even hit a homer late to get them close. The tension was just insane.
Until the bottom of the 12th, Fisk.
Carlton Fisk. That image is burned into baseball history. Him at home plate, swinging, launching the ball down the left field line and just waving it fair.
Jumping and waving. Pure theater.
Absolutely. And the replay really captured it. Someone apparently carved their name into the green monster where the ball hit. That homer forced Game 7.
Incredible. And Game 7 wasn't exactly anticlimactic either, was it?
Not at all. The Reds, true to form, rallied again from a 3-0 deficit, showed that incredible determination.
Perez hit another huge homer.
Yep, a massive 2-run shot. And then the final moment, 9th inning, Joe Morgan comes through with a single to win it all.
The World Series clincher. Wow. And Bill Lee threw his eephus pitch in that game.
He did, and unfortunately for the Sox, Perez hit it out for that 2-run homer. Rough outcome for a signature pitch.
Boy, the Big Red Machine does it. They win the World Series.
Their second championship. A huge moment for the franchise and the city.
And the legacy, it goes beyond just the win, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That 1975 World Series, especially Game 6, is often credited with, reigniting public interest in baseball when it was flagging.
Ushering in a new baseball renaissance, as one source said.
Exactly. It wasn't just a great series. It was important for the sport itself.
So, thinking back to our mission, what does this team, this series, tell us about defining greatness? Was it just the raw talent, Morgan's MVPs, Bench's glove, Rose's hits?
I think it's more than that. The sources really point towards a combination. You had the individual brilliance, no doubt.
But also the team stuff, the intangibles.
Yeah, that chemistry, the way they seem to pull for each other, Sparky's leadership, and maybe most importantly, at resilience, coming back from deficits in huge games.
That ability to fight back when things look bleak.
Right. It feels like true greatness. There is that blend of incredible skill and this unbreakable collective will. Talent plus determination.
It's interesting, too, the sources mention some of the players like Denny Doyle, Bernie Carbo, others staying connected years later.
Yeah, it speaks to that bond, right? Achieving something like that together, it lasts. It's not just about the stats or the rings, it's the shared history.
The culture they build.
Exactly, that resonance.
Okay, so to wrap up, thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
Been great discussing this team.
Here's a final thought, pulling all this together. Considering this mix of just, immense talent, some of it controversial, the coaching, the chemistry, and the sheer unbelievable drama of that World Series. Does true greatness in sports actually need more than just skill and determination? Does it need that touch of human weirdness, unexpected challenges, and maybe even pure theatrical magic?
It's a great question. What really makes a legend stick? Is it just winning? Or is it the unforgettable, messy, dramatic, deeply human story the Big Red Machine in that 75 series gave us in spades?
Something to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.